Hello everyone, this is Ryan with Frontline Animal Removal, and by popular request we're going to show you how we fix woodpecker damage. Here we got a woodpecker hole. Woodpecker chewed this hole open who knows how long ago, but it's been here for a while. We're going to plug this hole. And as we got any other ones, and there's another woodpecker hole there on that one. And there's one right here. So, just to demonstrate how to do this, let me show you the tools. We got a drill with a hole saw. I have other sizes, but we're going to use this one. We got our screwdriver, we got a little piece of scrap wood, and then we have our raw material here, which is cedar, rough sawn, and I've already taken the liberty of making a plug. And we got some stain, wire brush, and some wood filler. And I got my tool pouch down here with a putty knife and pliers and pencil and screws. So let's get started. So once you have all your stuff, the first thing you have to determine is what size hole saw to use. So this one's really close, so that's the size we're going to use. So you put your hole saw up here, and you got to really steady it. And you want to make a nice round hole here. The next step is then we have to put a little piece of filler wood in. So we gotta, and let me show you what I'm doing exactly. I'll put a screw here on the end, and I'll show you why. You fit this down in, and I've already stuck a screw in here to get me started. Get it down in, come on. Okay, and then you kind of slide it up. You want to slide it up as high as you can go, and you want to center the piece of wood with this screw. Now, we got that piece of wood there. That's held nice and strong. Now we take that screw out. So now we got our backer material. Now we take our wood plug, line the grain up with existing grain, and check for fit. And it fits okay. It seems to be a little crooked. So let's loosen this and adjust it. There, that's better. Now, set our plug in here, our screw, run our screw in. Alright, that's sitting fairly flush, which is good. We'll tighten it up just a smidge more. Okay, I've got the grain going in the correct direction. Now, because this is rough sawn, we don't want it perfectly flat. This is all kind of weathered looking, and that's the look we want. Now we take our wood putty and our putty knife. Now, different types of wood putty behave differently. Some you got to let dry before you paint, others you can paint wet. Some never actually dry. This stuff you can paint wet. So now we just start slopping our wood putty over the hole. And you want to push this stuff into grooves as best as possible. And whether you plug your completely cover your plug or not doesn't really matter. You want to get it all in the holes really good. And this, where we're fixing, it's not a real good flat area anyways. We got some, we got a dent here, and we got a dent up here, so it's not real good looking. But it doesn't matter because it's all supposed to be rough sawn and rustic. So you just smear our wood putty all over, get it in. Alright. Looks nice and sloppy, doesn't it? We want it looking sloppy because this is rough sawn. Now we take our wire brush. Just kind of gently go over it, just barely dragging it. Let's put some grain back in. Makes it kind of look like it's not there. Now, we're going to give that a minute to dry, and then we'll come back. Actually, it doesn't dry completely, we just need it to firm up, and then we'll come back and stain it. Okay, let me show you one that I filled earlier. Here's one that we filled earlier. And the putty's dried up enough or firmed up enough we can paint it. Now what I always like to do is just kind of take my hand and brush off any high and loose spots of putty, because the putty never really gets super hard. And you just take your stain and go right over top, and we got a little hole there. And since this is very sun faded, but this is the correct color, what I like to do is kind of streak the dry brush away from the hole. And that hole has pretty much disappeared, so let's look at it from a distance. From a distance, the hole's hardly even noticeable. Thank you.